going to move on to our final presenter of the day. I'm super pleased to introduce Grizet Vazquez. Grizet is from Chicago, and she's especially interested in child development and education. She'll be doing her IRIS in Costa Rica, and her research proposal is titled Access to Quality Education for Children in Marginalized Communities, Community-Based Educational Support in Costa Rica. So go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. I'll just Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Grizet, and my research is focused on education inequality, especially looking at how improving the quality of education can help reduce long-term inequality. I'll be focusing on a case study in Costa Rica, hopefully this fall. Super excited for that. And yeah, okay. Okay. I want you to imagine being a child who goes to school every single day, sits in the classroom, listens to a lesson, but still can't, leaves without fully understanding what they learn or knowing that they didn't really pay attention. So, yeah, imagining that is pretty easy, and also it's not hard to know that it is happening to millions of kids around the world. And so while global efforts have successfully increased access to education, research shows that access alone is not enough. Many education systems continue to reproduce inequality rather than reducing it, especially for marginalized communities. Um, Inequality educational experiences varies across communities. So, especially again in marginalized communities, areas, children face overcrowded classrooms, undertrained teachers, and have limited sources that block the meaning of learning. Yeah. So, my research shifts from the focus from getting students into schools to what they actually gain from being there. I'm particularly interested in common-based approaches, programs that go beyond traditional schooling and support students in more localized and in a more like cultural relevant way. So my research question explores how these programs can improve learning outcomes and help reduce inequality over time. Okay, so for my research so far, I have a few themes that have come up. First, there's a clear distinction between access and actual learning outcomes. And then second, the quality of teaching and the learning environment plays also a major role. And so in like student success. And then there's also a community-based education that like a model that appears to be particularly affected because they are more in like into adaptable and local needs. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I kind of got lost right there. But, and finally, theme four, education has the potential to reduce inequality, but only when it leads to meaningful skills, like skills development, not just like attendance or, yeah, it's actually taking the time to know what the kid has or hasn't learned and how they can improve that, and yeah, take the time to do that. So for my research design, again, I will be conducting a qualitative case study in the Centro Educativo Shrunuk Montessori School in Costa Rica. I chose this place because it represents an alternative educational model that focuses um, on students' learning environment and growth, and also because the school again teaches primarily like younger kids, and I think that's very important to start at a um, early age and to like the word like sh not shifting, but like for their brains to fully develop in a way that's um, good for them and the environment as well in their community. Um, and then so the methods I want to include in this research are interviews and observations. Of course, I will be in the classroom and I want to take the time to observe how the teachers um, are doing as well, not just the kids. And yeah, this approach allows me to better understand how sorry, how these educational practices actually impact students in a real world setting. And so, yeah. Mm. In terms of ethics, my research follows the principles of Belmont re Report, and so which essentially means respect for the people and the justice of which this means ensuring informed consent, protecting participants, and yeah, since I'll be working with students, it's especially important to consider vulnerability and yeah, I also want to recognize my own um, uh, like personal like work as a research and how my background may influence both my interpretation and how I am going to interact within the research and in Costa Rica. Mm. So, sorry. This research, okay, so why does this research matter? This research matters because education is one of the most important tools for long-term change. And however, when education systems fail to provide meaningful learning, they can actually reinforce inequality. And going into community-based education models offers real real situations. They provide quality learning experiences that create meaningful changes for uh, the children and also their communities. I also want to mention that I know I've been talking about like children and the teachers. Another thing that I is important for me while being there is also focusing on the parents and what they are or how they're helping their kids and if they are or if they need help. And yeah, that's also. And then yeah, thank you.